guys, how y'all doing? Hello. Hey, Miss Z. Hey, Sandra. What's up? Steph, how you doing? Good to see your beautiful self. Hey, Connie. Hey, Christy, how you been? Good to see you, Moto Mobile. How you guys doing? Welcome in. Thank you. Let's post the list. I have a short list so far, but hey, it's a good one. So there we go. What's up, everybody? Hope you guys are having a good evening. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. What's up? Let's take a look. Here we go. All right. How you guys doing? You guys having a good night? I hope so. All right, let's clear some energy. You guys ready to rock and roll? Thank you, Tiger Lily. How sweet. What's up? All right, let's do it to it. Let's clear some energy. You ready to get some sound bowl vibes going on up in here? Hey, Moonlight Tarot. Hey, Nidio, what's up? There we go. Nice noise. There we go. Hey, J. Cave, how you doing? All right. I didn't realize we had, I thought we just had like one booking, but it turned out we had 4. It's too hot outside where I live. I heard that, Sandra. All right, Miss April, you are actually up first. Well, hey, TMKC, what's up, beautiful? How you doing? Angel Lies in the house. Hello, beautiful. What's up? All right, let's timestamp. Let's get it going. Without further ado, April, you ready? Here we go. Too much cake. Happy birthday to that amazing little Cancer guy. All right, who is growing up too fast. All right, so April is a Taurus dealing with a Libra. We stopped dating a couple of months ago after a year together. He started to pull away, told you he was not ready, but he keeps coming back into your energy, and I'm not sure what that means. I don't know if he's reappearing energetically or literally reaching out to you, but we'll see what's going on there. I want to know how he's feeling and advice moving forward. He seems confused. He can't seem to let go of me, and I still want him, so it's hard. All right, so let's take a look. And you bring up a really good point. People can come back into our energy field for a number of reasons. Sometimes that means we're not over them. Sometimes it means they're not over us. Cards can usually help us to decipher that. Now, if this person is literally moving towards you in certain ways, messaging you or whatever, well, it becomes a little more clear why they're coming back in your energy. But it still is worth looking at how he's feeling and advice moving forward. So you're asking good questions regardless. Let's take a look. Tell me about this Libra that April, the Taurus, is dealing with, how he feels, what's going on here. Let's take a look. Hey, Aries Beauty. Trista, what's up? Oh, it does? Oh, thank you, Trista. Gosh. Hold on a minute. Let me fix that. How's that? Yes. Okay, thank you, Trista. All right, here we go. Tell me about this Libra toward April the Taurus. Give me the Libra toward April the Taurus. Give me the Libra, please, toward April the Taurus. Give me the Libra. Give me this Libra as it relates to April the Taurus. Ace of Wands in the reverse. That flipped out. We'll look at it. We'll see what that's telling us. We'll get some more info. Let's take a look. I still want him, so it's hard. Let's take a look. Tell me about this Libra toward April the Taurus. I will tell you this much. I know this already, April. He's not planning on directly coming towards you in a very direct, clear way. I can tell you that already with the Ace of Wands here coming out in the reverse. That can be saying other things as well. But one thing that is already clear is he's not planning to do anything regardless of how he feels. And that is honestly probably the most useful information you'll gain from this entire reading. But we're going to delve into it. Hey, Sarah. Let's see what's up. So we have the Three of Pentacles, we have the Temperance, and we have the Justice in the reverse. Boy, that's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. You know, here's what I get from the Libra. We literally have the Justice card. Let's just talk about the Justice card in the reverse and talk about that. There's so many things these 4 cards I'm looking at are telling me, and I'm going to tell you all of them. The Justice card in reverse, that's Libra energy in a low vibration. Womp, womp, womp. Why do you say, Auntie Karen? Does that mean this Libra is a douche canoe? No. I do not know enough information to call this person a douche canoe. I don't think that's fair. Okay? What I can tell you is this Libra is walking around not in the most higher vibration of Libra energy. In his case, because he is an avoidant. Okay? Point blank, period. Does he have feelings for you? I could look. But at the end of the day, I can tell you it doesn't matter whether he has feelings. The end result for you is going to be the same. It's just, do you want to go on this roller coaster ride with him? Because I feel like he would take you on one. And I don't think he would mean to hurt you, but in the meantime, it would hurt terribly. And that's the unfortunate other fact about why the Justice card is here in the reverse. It's not fair to you. And you now have knowledge of that right now. Okay? And, you know, it would be unfair for him to put you in those roles. It would be you being unfair to yourself to agree to go along with that. And so the question becomes, are you going to betray yourself? And let me tell you, to say, I still want him, so it's hard. Baby, I send you the most biggest Auntie Karen heartfelt hug you can ever imagine from the sincerest bottom of my heart. I tell you that. At the same time, I tell you out of love yourself more than you love it. It is okay that you want this person and that you miss this person and that you love that. That is absolutely fine. In fact, it's good that you're being honest about your feelings, because that's very important. Okay, that's actually very healthy that you're able to, you know, own that. That's fine. Not a thing in the world wrong with that. What I want you to do, my beautiful Taurus friend, is to find a way to love yourself more and to love yourself so much that you refuse to betray yourself, okay, and your beautiful Taurus heart by putting yourself in harm's way. Again, does that mean this is a bad person? No, I don't. Based on everything I see, I can't say that this is a bad person. What I do feel like, this is a person who has not yet taken responsibility for their wounds. We absolutely, you know, it's not our fault when people wound us. But unfortunately, we have the responsibility to heal those things, all right? And he has not stepped into that. Do I think he realizes it? Probably not. I would put my next year's salary on the fact that he probably doesn't realize it and has no intention of hurting you. But that's beside the point. It doesn't change the heartbreak that you encounter if you continue to deal with him. He is confused. You're not wrong. And what I want you to do in this thing is this, April. What I absolutely want you to do is this, okay? I want you to take the focus off trying to psychoanalyze him, because you can't fix him. I want you to take the focus onto you and ask yourself what it's trying to show you about you, because this is a mirror and it's actually showing you something that you need to tweak within your inner work, introspection, shadow work, right? So he is confused. That is true. And probably he can't let go of you, which is probably makes it a really good idea for you, since you have such strong feelings, to block this man. so that you won't be tempted to put yourself onto a roller coaster that is ultimately going to derail and create pain for yourself. Okay. So I absolutely encourage you to, whatever his issues are, whether he's an avoidant, whether he's confused, whether he can't let go of you, that's not going to change the outcome. He is a walking heartbreak, unintentionally, but it doesn't matter. Going there is going to put yourself in harm's way. Love yourself enough to not do that. And don't worry about what his psychological problems are. And let's not focus so much on analyzing the behavior. Leave that to the Gemini. Because I'm fascinated by human behavior. And if you really want to learn about the human behavior, then focus on somebody that you're not emotionally invested in, right? There are plenty of case studies out there that are fascinating, and I can give you some if you're out of options, okay, that you don't have any emotional investment in, if you are genuinely curious about human behavior. If you're just curious about him, then that tells me that you really are needing to look inside. And so I come back to my original advice of take your eyes off of trying to figure him out and put your eyes on trying to figure you out. That's what this is really about. That's the lesson here. I hope that helped you, my love, and I wish you so much success in your journey. Right? That's what I got. Hey, Francis, what's up? Leo's son, how you doing? Who have I missed? April, May, June, what's up? Cindy, good to see you guys. Colleen, I hope you're doing well. Let's see. Francis, good to see you. All right, we are on Nisa. Let's see what's up. The banner does not say all signs. The title says all signs because all signs are welcome here, okay? I'm reading for any sign, any and all sign that comes. All right, so yeah, the banner just says many readings are still available tonight, and the other banner has the list on it. Those are the banners. All right. No thanks at Psych. Sorting out. You know what? That may be the healthiest thing I've heard anybody say tonight. Right here. So, okay. So, first epic comment of the day. The prize goes to Miss Unzi. No thanks at the psychoanalyst. Sorting out my own shit is enough. It's a full-time job and then some, right? There you go. Hey, Kim Bounds, welcome. So, yeah. Yes to that all day long. All right. Let's put the list back up again. Look, I love studying human behavior, but and I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real with you guys. When I'm emotionally invested, I get tempted to psychoanalyze people, and there may or may not be people in this chat that can attest to that firsthand. And it's a slippery slope. Okay, even when you're self-aware, to fall into that trap of trying to psychoanalyze somebody that you're emotionally invested in, it's really just a good idea not to, because you'll just inevitably get yourself messed up, and it's just too encumbering, right? It's just too encumbering, bottom line. Hey, Kim. Well, you actually I don't need any information. You booked an advice reading, so you won't have a question, okay? You're getting what you paid for, $15 is advice. So yeah, all I need is your name. I don't even need to look at what you sent. Now, if you had a question, you want to just pay the difference, then we can do that. But yeah, that's just advice. Right? Yeah, Angel Eyes says, once he heals, if he wants to heal, it may be for you, but I'm going to be honest with you. The odds of that happening is pretty remote. Not that they will heal, but that the timing will coincide. Or that, and quite honestly, if you've healed enough, if you've done enough work on yourself, even if the other person is healed, you're probably going to be in this energy of like, look, I'm glad that you've healed, but I can't take a chance on you. I really am proud of you for healing. And I think you should go and take your new version of yourself and bless someone that can appreciate you, because I'm jaded. We have a history and I can't go there. There you go. All right. So I just, because when we start looking at stuff like that, and I get where you're coming from, Angel Eyes, but when I start looking at stuff like that, people will say, that means I can wait on them. No, 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 no. You're wasting your time. 1% of the time, you might be well to do that. That's a pretty big gamble on screwing up your life and wasting time. Yeah, there are millions of people in the world. Trust. The universe will bring in what we need at the right time. I'm walking, talking proof. I'm walking, talking proof of that. All right. Let's go to Miss Z. Let's go to Nisa. Let's go to Nisa. Nisa. Oh, let me timestamp for Nisa. Hang on a minute. Here we go, Nisa. Nisa is asking about Eric, the Sag, toward her. Nisa is a Pisces. Okay, so we're asking about the Sag toward the Pisces. Yes, there you go. I might need to block so that he doesn't mess with you. Yeah. And not because he's done anything wrong, but because it'll help you. Yeah. You get it. I can tell from what you said that you get where I was going with that. All right. Nisa the Pisces. Oh, okay, Holly. All right. Hey, Birdman. All right. Nisa the Pisces. Let's get Eric's future actions toward Nisa the Pisces for the rest of the year. Nisa? Yeah, words of wisdom. There are some people here who know where those words of wisdom are earned from, right? All right. I can take my own advice today. God, it hurts when I point myself. When that mirror hits your girl, it's hard. It's hard, but I own it. All right, here we go. Give me Eric the Sag. Future actions toward Nisa the Pisces. Give me Eric the Pisces. Future actions. Future actions. Eric the Sag toward Nisa the Pisces. Eric the Sag. Eric the Sag toward Nisa the Pisces. The rest of 2026. Give me Eric the Sag toward Nisa the Pisces. The rest of 2026. Eric the Sag toward Nisa the Pisces. The rest of 2026. Eric the Sag toward Nisa the Pisces. The rest of 2026, please. Seven of Pentacles, Five of Wands, Queen of Swords in the reverse. Okay, so at best, you've got drama with this man. At best. No, well, at best, you've got nothing. You've got him just having you in waiting mode with the Seven of Pentacles. What I see happening, I'm going to be real with you. Here's what I see happening. I see him not doing anything with the Seven of Pentacles here and just kind of being in waiting mode and you waiting on him. And then I see you kind of losing your patience with the Five of Wands here. And maybe going off on him and cutting him out. Queen of Swords in reverse. That's what I think is going to happen between now and the end of the year. I think you'll give this some time, my dear Pisces, and then I think you'll be like, fuck you. I don't know that he's going to communicate with you or what that might be. I'm going to delve into the Seven of Pentacles here. But I think ultimately something causes you to flip your lid. And I kind of think it's inaction, the lack of action on his part that causes you to kind of lose it. And maybe not in a bad way. When I say lose it, I don't mean in a bad way. I don't necessarily mean in a bad way. So let me just clarify that. I don't see you losing your shit and, just losing control. Nah, I think you go off on this person because, you know, you get frustrated at inaction. He may string you along with that Seven of Pentacles. Let's just see. I want to know exactly what's behind that. Yeah, Four of Pentacles is holding back. Page of Wands, you will hear from him, but the Emperor in the reverse, there it is. So the Seven of Pentacles means he's going to string you along. You will hear from him. You will get communication. Is he going to step up? No. Emperor in reverse. He's going to hold back. I'll be honest with you. What I get is an occasional flirty text here or there. And I think you get to the point where you're like, fuck you. And you may even literally say that to him, and I think you cut him out. Queen of Swords in reverse. That's what you lose patience with, is his, you know. And so, yeah, that's what I see happening here. Now, I'm going to say this about, I'm going to make a statement about zodiac sign compatibility. You have to look beyond the sun, moon, and rising even. So certainly the sun signs alone are going to tell you very little about compatibility. Very little, okay? You can have a Sag and a Pisces that vibe and do great together. And you can have a Sag and a Pisces that are like oil and water. Now, what I will tell you, if this dude, you know, let's just say he's a Sag sun and he's a chart full of water, that could be a thing. That could be a thing. It could work, okay? So that's why you got to go beyond sun signs, okay? But if he's really saggy, pure saggy in the way that he moves, and that's not a bad thing. I love the way Saggies move, okay? But I'm a Gemini. Pisces move totally different. Pisces, all other things being equal, if you are very Piscean in your chart, watery, that is a beautiful energy, and you move very differently than somebody who moves like a Sag. Both are beautiful. Both bring great things to the table. They are very rare to make it in a pairing. And I qualify that by saying, please do not think that you can only go on the sun signs. You cannot. But what I'm seeing in the cards literally suggests a Saggy who acts like a Saggy. Is that a bad thing? No. I'd probably date this guy and be fine with the occasional Page of Wands. A watery part, and I'm even watery, but I'm enough Gemini that I really just like my freedom just as much as the Sag, right? But nonetheless, I could see how this type of behavior would be very upsetting to someone who moves in a watery way, and it would be a deal breaker. So that's what I think the issue is here. I think you've got two people who move fundamentally differently in the world and in relationships and in life, and as such, there's a lack of compatibility. Point blank. Laura, what's up, beautiful? Hey, Robert, how you doing? How you doing? I think we're still in the pre-shadow, Ms. Z, if I'm not mistaken. With, she asked, how long the retro, when will it end? I think we got a minute. Yeah, Sages love deeply and hard once they are there. And it takes a lot to get a Sag there to begin with, you know? You know, the problem with some zodiacs, this is not a problem. The issue with some zodiac signs, and Geminis and Sag are some of them, you've got to convince us why. We love being single. We love our freedom. And we're not going to be fenced in regardless. But you've got to convince us why we should give up our freedom for you. And that's going to be a hard thing, because our first love is going to always be our freedom. And that makes it difficult. That makes it difficult for people that like a very, you know, I don't know. What is it I'm trying to say? Yeah. So, yeah. Now, Robert, you're a Gemini. You're supposed to like Saggies. This must have just been a bad Saggy. You can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Look, one of the most toxic people I've ever run across in recent months was a Sagittarius. I still love the energy. Yeah, so there you go. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, Robert. You'll miss out on a lot of great potential friendships and everything else, right? In fact, Robert, I could see you vibing with a good Sag. I could see it. I don't know you, but what I know about you, right? That's what I got. I need to update the list, is what I need to do. Let's do that real quick. I'll never do it again. And that's fair. That's completely fair. So after Birdman, we have Kim, Trista, and Holly. All right, let's put you guys on the list. Boink, boink, boink. Wow, Robert. You know, I'm gonna tell you, when you get emotionally invested, you'll do things that you would never dream you could do, right? All right, next up is Aries Beauty. That's Xavier. All right, Aries Beauty, what's up, what's up? Aries Beauty says, hi, Auntie Karen, happy belated birthday. Well, thank you. I want to know if there is anything significant happening in July for me. All right, so Aries Beauty, I want to ask you, are we looking at general significant, romance significant, or bird? We'll get you. Yeah, just give me a little direction. Are we talking general or are we talking love as far as significance for July? And we can go from there. That'll help me a lot. So retrograde, all right, Steph just looked it up for us, the retrograde dates. June 29th to July 23rd. So yes, we are in, and everybody tells me the pre-shadow on this one is more intense. My personal experience is pre-shadow for me personally is always more intense, right? Romance, but would be nice. Hopefully someone's out there. Let's see what we got, love. Let's see what we got. I got you, Laura. I got you. You're after Holly. All right. Aries Beauty, July, romance vibes. Romance for July for Aries Beauty, Xavier. Romance vibes for July. Romance vibes for July for Xavier, Aries Beauty. What's romance looking like for Aries Beauty for July? Xavier. Okay, well, we're starting out on a good note for you. Oh. Yeah, somebody crossing your path with some potential. I'm not going to tell you to fall in love with potential, but this could grow. My cards are saying this is going to go somewhere. Let's talk about it, and then we'll drill down on these cards. But let's initially talk about the three cards I'm looking at because I see a progression here, and I'm going to talk about it. The first card out I'm encouraged by, the Five of Cups in reverse. This is walking into this thing. I love the Five of Cups in reverse, and let's talk about it. That's how you start July. I love the way you're starting out. You're starting out on a good foot. And here's what that tells me. You're tired of crying over spilled milk from the past. You're refusing to allow your past to influence your level of optimism and hope about the future. In other words, you're the opposite of jaded walking into July when it comes to romance. The other thing that I like about the Five of Cups in reverse, I take that almost as taking responsibility for yourself, which is a really powerful place to be. And because you realize I'm in more control of my life than I realized, which is beautiful. Okay, so you're coming into this thing very empowered from a number of different directions we could take that. Okay, as you embark into the romance, you know, ethers, right? And the next card out is the Three of Pentacles, which suggests something moving forward energetically, possibly building with someone. And I feel like it is possibly starting to build with someone because the end result on this thing is the Two of Cups. You may meet somebody that you are going to end up in a Two of Cups dynamic with, which is pretty amazing. And I want to hear more about it. Now that we've dissected that part of the reading, I want to go a little bit deeper. Hey, Jessie, what's up? What does she need to know about this person that I see? What does she need to know? What does Aries Beauty need to know about the person that I see in my reading? What does Aries Beauty need to know about the person that I see crossing her path? By the way, it is likely as a soulmate, and you know we have more than one. So I really like how you're walking into this thing. The Five of Cups in reverse, I really am proud of you. If nobody else tells you that, I'm really proud of you. Let's see here. Very interesting. This suggests to me that despite that the Five of Cups in reverse is also a card that can talk about overcoming the past. And as I drilled down on that Five of Cups in the reverse, I think that despite the fact that you have dealt with, you have had some duds cross your path. Let's just put it that way. I think you remained introspective on this thing. Okay, you kept looking at yourself. You refused to let that cause you to be jaded. And I think you made a decision. I'm not going to choose I'm not going to choose these emperors in reverse, right? I'll stay single, which is actually a pretty powerful place in and of itself. I know there's better out there, the Star card here. So that's where you're walking into this thing. A lot of hope, a lot of optimism. All right. You're scrutinizing things, but I don't think you're fearful. Here's what I get, and let me just talk about where I see you mentally. Seven of Swords, Nine of Swords in reverse. You have to take the combination of those two energies, and this is you in your mind as you walk into things. When you combine those two energies, okay, because on the surface, a reader would go, I can't make sense of that. It's contradictory. No, you got to blend them. It's just like conjunctions of a planet or two planets. And in this case, we got the conjunction of two tarot cards. And here's what happens. The Seven of Swords with the Nine of Swords in reverse combines. It's like a healthy skepticism mixed with optimism. You're not you're not looking through rose-colored glasses when you evaluate romantic potentials. Okay, you've got a healthy skepticism about you. You're gonna be on their bullshit like this. But at the same time, does it affect your mindset and your optimism? That would be a negative. No. So I am super proud of the mindset that you're in. Super proud of the mindset that you're in, Aries Beauty. And your auntie is proud of you. Tell me more about the Two of Cups. We got more on you. That's okay. Tell me a little bit more about the Two of Cups. There are going to be quite a few people who cross your path, okay? And you are going to be having to sort through. So good that you've got this mindset of discernment, okay? I did get a lot of fire energy crossing your path, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. There may be an earth sign or two, but for some reason, I think in your mind, something doesn't jihad with the earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. You may have an ex reach out. Well, 'tis the season, Mercury retrograde, right? Yeah, I got communication from an ex, just so you know. All right. There's a water sign here, and you're not into them. There's a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, and you're like, meh. And I don't think it's the sign, I just think it's their vibe. All right. So there's a lot of people crossing your path. All right. You may end up meeting somebody who is at a distance. All right. But I'm getting fire and air for you all day long. Fiery, airy energy. Okay. Aries, Leo, Sag, Gemini, Gemini. Who's the rest of them? My brain. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. There you go. Yes, fire signs do love confidence. They sure do. I agree with that. That's what I got, Aries Beauty, and I hope that helps you. Keep me posted. I know I know you got to do that. That's part of the way it rolls here. You have to keep us posted after we read for you. Right. All right. Did I? Okay, let me update and add Laura to the list real quick. Laura is after Holly. Retro celibate. That's a good word. That's a good word. Karen has many brain farts, especially my brain tends to misfire especially during pre-shadow Mercury retrograde, Birdie. Interesting, right? Mercury being my chart ruler. I don't know, but I find it very interesting that happens a lot during pre-shadow Mercury retrograde for me. Oh, give me a minute. I'm not going anywhere. I just got to type a text to somebody. Okay. Um, your Mercury is into me too, Laura. I'm a Taurus Mercury too. I have Mars conjunct my Mercury at both of those, and I have Jupiter in Taurus as well. I have a Taurus stellium. Well, I took typing in school, Laura, and I'm a keyboardist. And I don't know, supposedly if you're a keyboardist, you can type faster. All right, so this is Birdman. It was, Steph, it was going to fall through anyway. But yeah, that just seals their fate. What? Okay. Um, Let me timestamp for you, Birdie. Let me timestamp for you, Birdie. All right, here we go. Birdie. So let's see here. I'm not going to read this aloud because I know a lot of the backstory on this, but let's see. Platonic best friends, travel buddies, kids on both sides. Her days are long, mine aren't. Everything is business or investments. Can't relax. I can and enjoy nature. What do the cards say? Let's just see. Michelle, I got you after Laura. Let's just see. Here's what I want to do, Birdie. You made an interesting point earlier. We actually discussed this at length. Well, not at length, but enough earlier, you and I via text. It's going to be real interesting. And here's what I want to do, Birdie. I want to take my own opinions out of the equation. And I just want to pull cards and see what the cards say about this thing from the cards' standpoint. Okay? And And let's just leave this to see what the cards say about you two. I think I may first take it from a place of compatibility. How about that? From the cards, what the cards would tell us about compatibility. Because you've already brought out some compatibility issues, right? With the difference in the approach to how you approach your day, right? Let's take a look. What about the compatibility between these two? 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 Miss Z. What about the compatibility between these two? What about the compatibility between these two? What about the compatibility between these two? Give me the compatibility. Justice in the reverse. Chariot. Nine of Wands. So, at the jump, the Justice in the reverse, let's just take a step back, and I'm not going to do this intuitively. I'm going to say what this could possibly mean just from knowledge of the cards, okay? Justice in the reverse can mean a couple of different things, Birdie. It can be an imbalance in equal give and take. It can be someone compromising themselves for another. It can be it can be a person refusing to take responsibility for their actions, lack of accountability. It can be betraying oneself, unfairness, and what we've talked about, we can see where several of those things could apply, right? Now, fun fact, the Chariot is here. That's some swift forward movement. And I'm probably gonna clarify that because we do have some swift forward movement. It's where we end up that's the issue here. And then we end up in this thing with the Nine of Wands. And the Nine of Wands is a card of intentionally staying in a situation where you know that you are going to be wounded. It is a repeating pattern. It is beating a dead horse. It is banging your head against the wall, wondering why you have a headache whenever common sense would have told you that banging your head against the wall was going to give you a headache, right? It's repeating the same thing over and over again, hoping to achieve a different result, okay? I think some of this could apply to the person of interest, and some of this could be the joint energies, right? It's a toxic pattern for sure with the Nine of Wands that injures whoever is around it. So we don't have the best on the compatibility side. We don't have the best on the compatibility side. And I think there's a lot of things just from taking a step back. And in fairness, a lot of this I wouldn't intuit because I know a lot of the backstory, and that in and of itself is okay. Well, I know you feel like she's a dear friend, and we talked about why she's not. But just because somebody has been in your life and nurtured you and walked through your hardest times side by side with you and nurtured you, doesn't mean they didn't have an agenda. And here we go again with this feeling entitled issue with the Justice card in the reverse. She wanted something in exchange. A friend does without expectation. I don't see a pretty wedding cake. I see a pigsty. But I love you, Birdie, but I'm just being real with you. I don't see something that I would take Jackie O to. And Jackie O is my trade name for my hope. I wouldn't put her there. I wouldn't waste her time. I wouldn't wake Jackie O up out of her slumber for this one. I wouldn't. It's not fair to Jackie O. And my cards say it's not fair to Birdie. You have invited Jackie O to a trailer trash party. Yeah, and I love you, Birdie, but that's essentially what's happened here. Your hope is far too valuable to give it to such emotional manipulation. So there you go. Yeah, white knight syndrome. She's your savior. Therefore, you owe her marriage. And you owe her a friendship because she's been there for you. No, you don't owe her a goddamn thing. So yeah, and Birdie, I know I've been extremely blunt with you. The good thing about my dynamic with Birdie is he doesn't get mad at me when I'm painfully blunt with him. So thank you for your patience, Birdie. Yeah. 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 Ms. Z may have a point. Ms. Z may have a point. It won't just be me, Birdie, that comes for him. It'll be the whole damn, all the women from the cottage will be like, how dare you? Right. Yeah. Straight up is how it showed be. Yeah. Yeah. I tell you, remind me, Birdie, after this live stream or tomorrow sometime, if you're not busy, remind me to tell you a story about my lifelong bestie who turned out to be just the antithesis of that. Remind me to tell you that story. And he tried to pull that with me. Well, we've been friends for so long. No, that is not friendship. I don't care how long I've known you and we've talked and we've done things together. You were never my friend. It took me a minute to meet. It took me a lot longer, honestly, Birdie. 3 years for you, a lot longer than that for me. Try 7th grade. The cutoff was 2 years ago. I'm embarrassed about it. But it is what it is. At least I'll own it. So, yeah. Time, being there, what was your motive, dude? It's the motive that matters, Birdie. It's the motive. You got to dig deep sometimes to find that. Don't get me wrong. There's some great friends out there. Okay? But that's what's up. Savage tribe. Exactly. I hope that helped you, Birdie. Do you want? If you want, I can delve on this thing a little bit more. I don't mind it, Birdie. Or I can do that later. You let me know. I don't mind. After Laura is Michelle. Thank you, Ms. Z. I love your face. Yeah, Jesse makes a good point. I've had friends like this. You're really just better off without them. If a friend has some sort of an agenda, then yeah, it's just not cool. Life is harder. Life is better without them. Yeah. She asked me to marry her tonight. Yeah, that's her motive. That's her motive. I think it's extremely, can I spill a little bit? I think it's extremely manipulative to go around and tell other family members, especially your children, and I don't care if they're adult children, me and this man are going to be married one day. That's extremely emotionally manipulative because somehow it's designed to make you feel like you have to do that, like you're obligated now because you'll disappoint everybody because you probably do love her kids, okay? And they probably do love you, okay? And so somehow you're the villain if you don't honor what she has masterminded. I mean, I have to give her credit. She's pretty creative, but I see through her bullshit. That is very manipulative. I would call that brute force. Siege. Words like that. How about anybody else got some words for that? But yeah. Steph says it's manipulation. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, let's talk about the surface problems here, Birdie. She never stops with the investments and the intensity and the pursuit of money. And look, that's not a bad thing. That's probably how it would be if you were with me. You'd probably be the same way. You'd be like, come on, put your feet on the grass. And I'd be like, why? There's money to be made, man. Come on. You know, but that's a difference in compatibility. And I think over time, you would become miserable. And Bertie, you deserve better than that. You deserve some nice girl who's going to sit out on the porch in that cabin on the mountains or on the beach and drink coffee with you and just chill and enjoy the breeze across her face and smell of the fresh air or the sea air. And that's it. Yeah, it makes him look like the bad guy. That's her plan. That's her plan. When is enough money enough money? It's time to enjoy it, not making. Thank you, Birdie. I couldn't agree more. Could not agree more. All right, so Kim is an Aries, and we are pulling for general advice for Kim. Whatever comes out, let's take a look for Kim for whatever comes out for advice. I'm going to timestamp for Kim real quick. Here we go. What does Kim the Aries need to know right now? What does Kim the Aries need to know right now? What is the advice for Kim the Aries right now? What is the advice for Kim the Aries? What is it that she needs to know? Whatever comes out for Kim the Aries. What is it that comes out for Kim the Aries? That's it. And we're all going to be rich because Laura's going to win the lottery. Absolutely. I agree. Let's manifest that. All right, here we go. What does Kim the Aries need to know? What does Kim the Aries need to know? Kim the Aries, what needs to come out for Kim the Aries? I tell you what, I think it would be easier to win the lottery than it would be to find a suitable romantic partner. Did I just say that? Did I just say that out loud and publicly? I sure did. Well, that was snarky. Let's see. For me, anyway, I'm ridiculously picky and unapologetic about it. I don't give a fuck. What does Kim the Aries need to know? Hanged Man in the reverse. 5 of Wands in the upright. Think. Knight of Cups. Here we go. Think. Kim, this is a twofold piece of advice for you. All right. Here's what I got. Let's talk about the Hangman in reverse and the 5 of Wands in the upright. And let's talk about Aries energy, which I love Aries energy. It has some similarities to Gemini energy. And this part of your reading is going to talk about those similarities. All right? Many times in our life, people will try to recruit us into their problems, their cause, their fight, their circus, their monkeys. True that? Yes. They will try to draw us into drama, gossip, conflict, so that we can help them champion their cause, okay? And this requires us to, and you're going to be faced with this. I'm seeing this in the cards. You may already be there. If not, you will. You need this advice going forward. That's why it's here. The Hangman in reverse, your first impulse. You're going to be tempted to jump right in. Let's join the crusade, whatever it is. Let's help this person solve their problem. Let's fight this battle. Let's gossip about this person. Let's get involved in some conflict and drama that we could otherwise spend our time doing something far more useful, appropriate, and productive. And so I encourage you, whenever you feel compelled to get involved in that, to for be able to have a boundary in what's your problem and what's not, what you should and shouldn't involve yourself in. Okay. Not only that, even another question to ask yourself before becoming involved is, if I become involved in this and I contribute whatever I can contribute, is it going to help anyone? Is there anything to be gained? And it doesn't have to be you that gets helped. I mean, but also, does it make sense for me to become involved? Because even if I could help them, would they be better served if they did this alone and learned how to do this for themselves? Would I actually be robbing them of the opportunity for them to see how very powerful they are? This is often something that comes along in parenting, but friends too, right? So discernment. So you are going to be faced with situations, Kim, in the coming weeks probably, or months, where your first instinct is to, Aries. And Aries is a beautiful energy, okay? But what I want you to understand is that Aries energy, that's your currency, okay? That's your currency. And it has a value. And it's beautiful. So let's do this, Kim. Let's use that Aries energy in ways that is useful, meaningful, and productive. And Mars can be so helpful, but Mars needs a little temperance, where Mars takes a step back and says, I'm a powerful force. Do I want to spend my time doing this or this? Now, the rest of your story, because you got two different messages here. The other thing that I see, and this is a prediction for you, I think you are going to, in the coming weeks and months, I think you are going to have people coming towards you romantically, okay? And maybe not in the healthiest way. Your instinct is going to be, here's what I got. We got a Knight of Cups after this, okay? Everything that glitters is not gold. Everything that sparkles is not glitter, okay? And besides, glitter can be problematic in and of itself. So just because somebody comes towards you with romantic moves, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. That's fun. We love that. And sure, give them your interest. But access to your energy involves something greater than a Knight of Cups. So don't fall for everything that shines and thinks that it's gold, right? And so that's the other thing that I got. That's your romantic advice. I think you're going to have a lot of opportunity crossing your path. And, when we put ourselves out there in the dating world, it can be a slippery slope. We got to have discernment. It's okay to respond to those Knight of Cups moves. They're beautiful. They're fun. Absolutely great, right? But we're not going to really invest. We're not going to bring Jackie O, who is my hope. We're not going to bring her to the party until we see a King of Cups or a King of Wands or a King of Pentacles or an Emperor, right? Knight of Cups is great. Show me what's behind the door. Is it just a King of Cups in reverse? Yeah, okay. I'll smile when you hand me those flowers, and I'll go out to dinner with you. And, if I'm a Gemini, I'll probably even boink with you. But you don't get my heart or any of my hope. It's just a fun night. That's all it is. Know the difference. Know the difference. All right. I hope that helps. And if you're easy prey, you don't need to be out there. She says, I'm easy prey, recently divorced. Full stop. This just took a turn. Kim Bounds, if you're easy prey, you need to get off the dating market. Point blank, period. You are not, walking into the dating world with being easy prey, you are literally sending a heartbreak, an engraved written invitation. And not only are you sending that to heartbreak, that written engraved invitation, you are sending it you are actually hiring a man on horseback dressed to the nines to go personally deliver a written engraved invitation to heartbreak. Baby, do me and yourself a favor and get yourself healed and in a place where you aren't so vulnerable, because there's a healthy vulnerable and a not healthy vulnerable. And it's incumbent upon you to know the difference, and you're not there. Words like easy prey to me, and I love you. I appreciate your honesty because you gave me an opportunity to help you. I can't help you if you're not honest with me. You were, and I appreciate that, okay? Do not put yourself out there if you view yourself as easy prey, because trust and believe you will attract the most slimiest, sleaziest bag of shit that will fuck you over, and you don't deserve that. That's the last thing you need after having gone through a divorce. Fair? Fair. All right. Took me longer than that, Birdie. Yeah. And understand this, Kim. It takes two things to heal. Time is only one part of it. Time alone heals all wounds. Biggest lie ever told. Time plus work. You've got to put the work in. You've got to put the work in. You know what? I laugh whenever she says this. They think I'm needing to be saved. I'm not. My dick is bigger than theirs. Hell yeah. It's rare that I meet a man that has I have bigger dick energy than most men that I encounter in the dating world. I really do. And I say that with the most sincere and unapologetically. Unapologetically. And if you can't handle that, then I'm not your girl, and I'm okay with that. Doesn't bother me a bit. I do not have to be, I have zero need to be loved by fuckboys. None. I'm completely unbothered by all of that. So there we are. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Yeah, big deck energy. Exactly, Jesse. We used to, me and Uncle had a running, you may remember this, Jesse. We had a running joke about big deck energy. You're welcome, Kim. I hope that helped you, love. Holly is up next. This is Night Owl's Nest. Let me timestamp from Miss Holly. Wait, did I skip Trista? Who's next? Okay, hold on a minute. I skipped Trista. I'm sorry. Holly, hang on a minute. We're on Trista. I had another brain fart, Birdie. I had another brain fart. Oh, why did I mark you fulfilled, Trista? That's so stupid. That's how I skipped you. All right, Trista, here we go, beautiful. Oh, gosh. Me and you too, Laura. Me and you too. All right, let's go, Trista. Let's see what's up with my friend Trista. All right, Trista. Thank you, Kim. Trista said, not 100% sure how to ask my question. Well, let's see. Have a work presentation next week, which I am nervous about. What's the energy around the presentation? Anything I should know? You have given me plenty of good information, Trista. I can work with this. I can pull cards on this. All right. Let's look at the energies. What does Trista need to know about this presentation? What does Trista need to know about this upcoming presentation? What does Trista need to know about this presentation that's coming up that she is about to do? What does she need to know? Give me the energies around it. Anything she needs to know? Let's take a look. Give me the energies around this upcoming presentation for Trista. Give me the energies around this presentation as it relates to Trista and what she's got to expect, what she needs to know. Trista, will there be a Q&A afterward? Will there be an opportunity for people to ask questions that you present this to? Let's see what the cards say. Tell me about this presentation and what she needs to know. What does Trista need to know? What does Trista Marie need to know? Not at all, Kim. It's not too late. What does she need to know about this presentation? Okay. Oh. Oh, Trista. Lots of swinging dicks, I would assume, Trista. Based on my cards, you tell me if I'm wrong. Lots of swinging dicks, literally. Lots of suits. Tell me if I'm wrong. Because that's what I'm seeing here. And I get that yeah, 30,000 people. But tell me if there are swinging dicks that are there. A lot of high roller male management, upper management, CEOs, all that. And then I'm going to tell you what the cards are telling me. And you're going to hate me. You're going to hate what I tell you. You're going to hate what I tell you. I'm not going to give you advice. I'm going to paint you two scenarios. Okay. All right. As I thought. And the reason I get this is because I too have been where you are. Now, I haven't presented to 30,000 people, but I've presented to thousands of people. And amongst the crowd was, bank presidents and mayor and the governor and whatever. Okay, so yeah, I kind of get that part. And I also know 3 other women besides you. I also know what it's like to be a woman in a man's world. And let's be real. Let's be real. We're better than they are. Sorry, guys. I believe that. And they don't like it when we're as smart as they are. I want to refer you to a Taylor Swift song. If I Was a Man, The Man is the name of the song. I want you to go look at the lyrics to the Taylor Swift song, The Man. And it talks about the difference in the way that we are perceived because of our genitalia. Right? We can walk in with the same charisma, attitude, confidence, manner as the guy next to us, and he's going to be perceived totally different. He's going to be perceived as being on point, a go-getter. We're going to be judged as being a bitch. So I'm going to tell you that right now. This is where you are. This is the dynamic that I'm seeing. So you got 2 choices in this thing, and I'm not going to tell you which road to take because I don't know. I don't know which road is best. You're going to have to be the judge of this. If you go in and you just do your thing, you've got some energetic backlash. People are going to find it too hard to digest. The problem with this is if it's something that's very important for you to people to understand, then that may sadly prevent them from being able to get the whole meaning behind what you're trying to tell them in this presentation. Unfortunately, if you put a little bit of softness on this thing, it's going to be more palatable and people are going to digest it and it's going to be better received. It all depends on what your goal is here. It all depends on what your goal is here. Okay? That's the energies you're up against. That's where you're at. And the cards don't lie. I literally have both bitch cards here. Yeah. Another thing that I got was bear in mind that you're talking to intelligence levels of varying degrees. And it depends on your goal here. If you're trying to reach the masses, you make it, you kind of take the tact of how the newspaper used to do, put it on a third grade level, right? If you don't care if the people on that level get it or not, and I'm not trying to be dismissive, but it's more important for you to reach the suits, then you might tailor your thing to a higher intellect. Okay? So I literally have the Queen of Wands in reverse and the Queen of Swords in reverse. The Queen of Wands in reverse is someone who is perceived as a salty bitch, and someone is really, a lot of times they have haters from people who are jealous, right? Now, the Queen of Swords is just perceived as a bitch because of her words and the way she expresses them, right? And the Ten of Wands, that means it's too much for people to digest because they're so busy focused on the fact that they think you're a bitch. How dare you enter a man's world, right? And so I have, the King of Cups and the Knight of Cups behind that. The water, the softer feminine energy here, makes it more palatable. It depends on your goal. It depends on your goal. But that's unfortunately the dynamic within which you are having to learn to. That's what your constraints are. That's what your challenges are. And that's what you've got to think about. And then you've got to look at your goals. Who am I trying to reach? And what am I trying to accomplish with this? Right? And that's going to help you to know, do I just go forward and be with my big deck energy, if you will? And be smart and just be confident and not worry about, this? Or am I concerned about truly getting my message across? And that's going to dictate how you approach this. I hope that helps you. So glad I asked about the energy because I'm guessing it'll be mainly men in sales. Oh my God, well, there you go. You've got a head full of egos. You got a bunch of people that are egos, and they probably are successful. To their credit, they probably are successful, and they walk around with their head that's so big they can't walk through the door. So, yeah, if it's very important for you to reach them with your message, then you have to, unfortunately, put a little water on it. I'm not saying water it down. I'm saying put a little femininity in it, a little nurturing, a little softness. You might even consider wearing pink, something non-threatening. I would say if you want to reach the masses, it's not the time to put on your black power suit. Yeah, that's what I got, Trista. You let me know if that makes sense to you. I hate that we live in this kind of world, but it's just the reality. It's just the reality. Actually, that's not true for women, Birdie, and I get why you give that advice, but we're not queen for the day. She's walking up there. The fact that she has as a woman, the fact that she walks up there and has the audacity to start speaking to 30,000 people in and of itself is something that she as a woman has to overcome. That's the reality. And I see it in the cards. So, wrong. People do want her to fail just because of what she has under her skirt. They absolutely do. She comes up there with less respect than if she had different anatomy. That's just the reality, Birdie. That's just what we deal with on the daily. And I love you for saying that. But I also recognize that you probably haven't walked in those shoes. And it is hard. It is hard. There you go, Trista. So, Trista, I forget your zodiac sign, and you didn't tell me. But I got confidence in you. One thing I saw about you that I remember reading about you, it is raw. You know, Tristan, I'm going to go back and I'm going to go back to a previous reading that I saw a strength that you bring to the table. Yeah, being the youngest makes it tough too. One thing I remember about you, I did a reading for you one time, Trista, and you remember that you had a client that was reassigned to you that you felt like might be a problem, and we delved into that. Remember that reading that I did to you? That's coming to, I don't know why, but somehow that has come to my memory, which is a miracle because I normally have reader amnesia. But what I remember seeing about you was that you have charisma and you have a way with your words. I think you're the girl for the job for this. I think you've got what you need to navigate. I think you've got the traits that you need to navigate this thing. Because I think you have something unique within your skill set that gives you an ability to win people over when people like me in that same situation might be a little bit more abrasive. Fair? Yes, you remember when we talked about that. So I bring that to your memory bank, and I encourage you to take that trait that we saw and put it to good use. You got this. This is gonna be a big win for you. Watch. You're welcome. You're welcome. I hope that helped. All right. Now Holly is up. Yes, you have to keep us posted. That's the rules, right? All right, so Holly, by the way, for some reason my eyes went straight to the last sentence that you put in what you sent to me, Holly. Congratulations for being off crutches. I'm happy for you. Happy, happy, happy. Let's read for you, love. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. I won't come for you. I don't do that. Unless you're acting like a douche canoe. And even then, I try to be kind, depending. So, let's see, Holly. Let's see what's up. She says, Donnie the Leo is bluffing about not vibing. Does that matter? How does that matter? I know it matters. I'll get to why I said that. I suspect he doesn't want me to see how bad and drained he is doing at work. I suspect he'll return in 3 to 4 weeks, maybe 6. And if I know him the way I think, he will come back full force, take accountability, and apologize. Clarify. By the way, I'm off crutches this week. All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look. And you know what? You've told me a lot more than you may realize, Holly. Well, I'm going to go back and read something to you. I suspect he'll return in 3 to 4, maybe 6 weeks. And if I know him the way I think, he will come back in full force and take accountability and apologize. Oh, wow. I'm glad to hear that. Holly, what you've told me here is that this man has a pattern with you. This man has a pattern. Tell me I'm wrong, because I fully believe, based on what you've told, I ain't pulled a card, I'm just looking at what you've told me. You told me more than you realize. You've told me if I know him the way I think I do, and that tells me you've seen him do this before. So we have a pattern of him withdrawing and then coming back full force and taking accountability. But part of taking accountability and apologizing is changing behavior. That's the part that I take exception to, all right? He may own it. He may say, yeah, I did that, and I was a piece of shit, and I'm sorry for it, okay? That's not a full apology is going to involve changed behavior, all right? When I got better, he felt like I didn't need him anymore. His feelings about that are not your problem to solve. That's a him problem. That's an insecurity that he needs to address that you can't help him with. All right? And besides that, need is such a bad word. It's such a toxic word in relationships. And I get that you probably needed this, you probably needed him to help you out, right? Because of being on crutches, and I get that. But I really detest the word need. So if he has a problem not being needed, then he's got some issues that go way, way deeper than where we've even been so far, Holly. But let's talk about what we see from him going forward toward you. What do we see from this Leo? Holly, give me your zodiac sign too. You gave me his. I want to get yours. Give me your zodiac sign. Yes, absolutely. Tell me about this Leo. Next action toward Holly. Give me the Leo's next action toward Holly. There is no such thing as cusp, but baby, when's your birthday? When's your birthday? All right, are you a Cancer or are you a Leo? Because if you're at the most misunderstood thing about astrology, if you're on the 29th or the first degree of a sign, you're actually more intense that certain sign. You're not a blend between the two. You're the absolute intensest version of one of those signs and the antithesis of the other. All right. Tell me about this Leo's next action toward Holly. Tell me July 6th. Yeah, Cancer. Lord, that's not even a cusp. If there was such a thing. You're definitely a Cancer. So tell me about this Leo's next action toward Holly, the Cancer. Tell me about this Leo's next action toward Holly, the Cancer. So I have the Knight of Swords here in the reverse. I have the Five of Cups in the reverse. And I have the Knight of Wands in the reverse. You may not be predicting him right. If he comes back around, this guy's coming in. I'm going to tell you, I've pulled two cards that are player cards. They're a little bit different from each other. The Knight of Wands is more of a player, just pure player. The Knight of Swords, when he comes up in the reverse, he is the person that lies to you and tells you whatever you need to hear to get what he wants. That actually tracks with what you've told me. Because he knows he can. He knows he can get away with this because he's probably done it before. He knows he can go back and say, I'm so sorry, I was such a douche canoe, and you'll take him right back. He's not sorry. Because he's done it before, and he'll do it again if you let him. If you give him an opportunity, he will damn sure do it again. All right? The Five of Cups in reverse in this thing, in this case, is probably him being dismissive of your feelings and how he impacts you and how he hurts you by his behavior. Oh, but we will see. We will see. Or he may tell you that he cares, and he really doesn't. Knight of Swords in reverse. He's a liar. He's an absolute liar. Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah, he's trying to emotionally manipulate you. Four of Wands. Hermit. He's going to withdraw again. He's going to do it again. He's going to withdraw again. So, that's what you have here. You're caught in a pattern. And let me talk to you, Holly, because I'm going to say this out of love to you. I'm going to say this out of love, and I'm going to tell you I know I come off pure Gemini, but let me just let you take a peek behind my curtain a little bit. I have a lot of water in my chart, and I have a lot of Cancer, but I have a lot of Pisces too. So, yeah, he's lying about not vibing. The energy is strong, it's sickening. Yeah, but it doesn't matter because he refuses to really step up into the energy. The energy is there and it's strong and it's calling him to step up into Emperor, and he's refusing. He's deciding he's not going to do that. So you're not wrong. But it doesn't, at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter how strong the energy is. You're dealing with a person who is refusing to step up into what the energy is calling them into. And at this point, you're betraying yourself. And here's why. I want you to, if you don't hear anything else I say to you, Holly, I want you to hear this. You're at a crossroads that is far more important than you may realize. Because you are about to I'm about to hand you the keys to your car, and I'm taking away from him. I've got the keys right here. I've got them, and you're going to tell me, do you give them back to him or no? I'm going to give them to you, and I'm going to let you decide if he gets the keys back or if you keep them. And here's where I'm going with this. This is important, Holly. I want you to hear this. He's done this before. We've established that. He'll do this again. We've established that. You're at a place where it is no longer his. It is continuing to experience heartbreak and disappointment relative to this Leo is now your fault. Anything before now, anything before today is June the 22nd. All right? Anything before June the 22nd, 100% his fault. I'm going to lay that at his doorstep. The heartbreak, the angst, that's on him. From June 22nd forward, if he hurts you, that's your fault. Because the question then becomes, why are you letting him come back to do it again? And that, my friend, for us watery people, and I say us, because I'm in this, you and I are rowing the same boat right here, okay? That's because I haven't updated the list, Priyata. I'm in the middle, and I'm not going to stop what I'm doing to update the list. All right, so hear me out. From now on, if you let this man hurt you, if you let this man, because you predict fully that he'll return in 3 to 4 to 6 weeks, what he needs to find is crickets. You're gone. You're not there anymore. You're not there anymore. He doesn't get to come back because you know he's going to stomp on your heart again and then come back and tell you what he thinks he needs to tell you to get back in. You see what I'm saying? So here's the thing, Holly. You have much more power than you realize. You're the one, right now, you're the one with the ace up your sleeve. You have more power than he does. You get to decide if he hurts you again. You get to decide if he gets another chance to fuck you over again. All right? And so, and so at that point, you get power. And I just handed you your car keys, my love. Brand new Mercedes-Benz. What color do you want? Or would you rather have a Maserati or a Ferrari? I just handed you the keys. You get to decide who drives the car. It's yours. Free and clear. Nothing's owed on it. It's in your name. The title is in your name. You get to decide who drives your car. This is your life. You get to decide how it goes, not anyone else. You're not at his mercy. The only person's mercy that you're at is your own. What are you going to decide? That's what I got. That's what I got. Yes, you take the keys, you let him keep the crutches, and baby, tear off the rear view mirror, turn up some really good tunes, and swing by and pick the rest of us up. And Bertie and me and Laura and Steph, we'll all go riding and have a good time with you. If you want. If you want. But you'll be driving. You'll be driving because it's your car. Fair? There you go. People don't realize sometimes how much control they have. And let me tell you something. If you think for a minute, Holly, let me just backtrack for just a minute on this thing, Holly, because I want to backtrack. There's something that's important that needs to be said here. I would strongly suspect, Holly. Look at Birdie in line. We ride at dawn. That's right. Laura's got matches. I got a shovel. Laura, let's go. Yeah. We'll meet her. We'll go. Me and we're already ready. Look, me and Laura are both Geminis. You ain't got to tell us twice, be ready. Baby, we've been ready. We ready to hit the road. Yeah, anyway. But, Holly, I digress. There's a very important point I need to make here to really bring this full circle, okay? And that is this. Hey, Carrie, that is this. At the end of the day, it still hurt. Your heart hurts. You have feelings for this man. You probably love this man, okay? And that is fair, and that is okay. That is completely okay. In fact, I want you to acknowledge that and be okay with that. Because two things can be true at once, and that is this. You can love a person and yet know that they don't get a place at your table. And the reason they don't get a place at your table sometimes is because you love yourself more. So all that Cancer loving, all that big Cancer heart of yours, there is so much love within the heart of a Cancer. If anybody on the planet right now deserved all that big Cancer heart that you've got, it's the person in the mirror. So how about you love on her? How about you love on her? It's okay that you love the Leo. That is fine. Okay, in fact, I don't in any way ever encourage people to say, I don't love him, when we know we do, right? But what I absolutely want you to do is to love on yourself. And yeah, I wanted to cuss him out, and I thought, ooh, I'm going to turn right back. And here's what I got. If you had the need, write it down and burn it. Or go into a room by yourself when nobody can hear you and cuss him out. Right by yourself. Get it out. You need to do that. That's healthy. Okay? Because you need to process and acknowledge those emotions, the anger, the frustration, feeling betrayed, pain, heartbreak, disappointment. They're all there. I don't want you to ever think that I would dismiss those emotions. They're important and they hurt like a motherfucker. I'm not going to say I know how you feel. That's impossible. We all feel differently when we go through those things. But one thing I do know is it sucks. I can be sure of that much. And I know it's important for you to process through that stuff, but it's very, very important for you to love on yourself. Right? So I hope that helps you. And that was important. And it's important now for me to update my list. Hey, Gina Vina, Anastasia in the house. Priya, you are after Michelle. And then we got Kim again. Let's see, Priya. And then Kim. And then Anastasia. And then Gina Vina. All right, here we go. Let me update the list and we'll get that on the screen. There you go. Priya, Kim, Anastasia, Gina. Yep, I got it. Okay, good. Good. I'm going to tell you, Holly, she says, I wanted to do the revenge hoe thing, but like I said, I'm a lady. I can appreciate that. All of it. All of it, baby. I can appreciate both sides of that coin. Trust me. At the end of the day, you know, the feeling of revenge can be gratifying, but it's extremely short lived and therefore ultimately disappointing because it feels good for a moment, but not nearly as long as we think. And this is the voice of experience because I have been the revenge hoe, okay? So take it from a person who's been doing this thing on the planet for quite a few years. Revenge will feel good for a minute, but ultimately you'll come up empty. I'll tell you, the best thing that I've ever done for revenge that actually did have some lasting effects was to glow up and level up. Because that gave me something tangible. There you go. Jesse says, you know what? It's a joke, but it's actually true. I talk to myself all the time. Sometimes I need expert advice. Your higher self can be your best friend many times, right? So let's go to Laura. Laura, you did advice, I think. You did. All right, Laura G. Let's see what we got for you. Let's do Laura. Let's do Laura. Give me some advice for Laura. But not find a man yet, Birdie. The best thing she needs to do, she don't need to find a good man. She needs to find a good Holly. Don't tell people to find a good person to replace somebody with. Don't do that. I love you, Birdie. All right, let's see here. Hey, Mustang girl, what's up? What does Laura G need to know for advice? What does Laura G need to know for advice? Before you find a good man, you got to find a good you. What does Laura G need to know for advice? What does Laura G need to know for advice? Laura the Gemini, what does Laura need to know for advice? Give me some advice. Hey, Carrie, I got you're after Gina, Carrie. All right, what does Laura need to know for advice? Hi, Siren Sarah Tarot, what's up? What does Laura need to know for advice? Laura G, the Gemini. Laura G, the Gemini. Laura G, the Gemini. What does Laura G, the Gemini, need to know? Who is that? Is the Six of Wands? Laura, is somebody around you in their ego right now that's flexing and flaunting or just in their ego, period? Because I see you being turned off by somebody. Thank you, Siren Sarah. Thank you for that. Appreciate you. I got somebody in your energy that maybe it's just that they're trying to get your attention. And you may be ignoring someone that's trying to get your attention. It could be that, because I got a Queen of Swords in reverse and the Six of Wands in the upright and an Ace of Cups in the reverse. I hear you saying it's a no for me. I hear you saying it's a no for me, dog. I feel like this Queen of Swords is here in the reverse, not because you're being, I think you're ignoring someone. I think that's what that is. Three of Wands in reverse. Three of Cups. This is somebody that's, oh, Lord. Laura, why is this person wanting you? Oh, God, Laura, no. Say it ain't so. This is not you. I'm not blaming you, but I hate that this is happening in your energy. You've got an ex that has shown up, or somebody you've got history with. And they're wanting to reconnect. I have a Three of Cups and an Eight of Cups in reverse, Laura. There's just no other way for me to interpret that. I saw that Three of Cups and I said, please don't let this be reunion. Please don't let this be reunion. And right behind it was that Eight of Cups in reverse, and that's just the way it is. And this is someone, I'm going to tell you the card that I got right before it. Three of Wands in reverse. It's someone that may have turned their back on you. There could be a third party, or you could have turned your back on them. I'm not sure what the issue is. I do feel like the overarching energy and the way to describe this person is ego. They may be somebody that is trying to get your attention in some way, either at work or on social media or through friends, whatever the case may be. I feel like that could be the case. This person could be flexing and flaunting and, peacocking, if you will. And it's, I guess, it's more than anything, I think this is preparation for you that this is coming. And to stand your ground. Leave it as a no. You made a solid decision once on this thing, Laura. Stick with that. Don't let that other Gemini twin that's a little bit softer than the one that made that hard decision convince you to give someone another chance whenever you made a good decision the first time. That's what I got here. I think you cut this person out because you felt like they were a time waster. Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, Devil in the reverse, possibly even someone that was toxic. What else? Eight of Swords. Don't overthink this thing. Do not let this motherfucker put them Gemini twins to debating about him. Don't do it. Whichever twin it is that says, yeah, but, maybe we should collect more data. Maybe we should just look behind the curtain. Don't do it. Don't do it. Thank you, Priyata. Don't do it. Yeah, it's a no. Wow. You know who it is. There you go. All right. So you know which twin gets to win this one. That's what I got. Yeah, you made a good decision. Don't overthink it. Don't second guess it. Your intuition was right. Don't get in your head about it. I literally saw you wanting to go into that Eight of Swords energy, the overthinking, the what if, right? I love how the universe works. Me too. So this solidly hit you. You know who it is. You saw the person's birth date, and you're hearing me describe this person. Wow. That's crazy. Thank you, Laura. I think if nothing else, you got confirmation that you got it right the first time. Don't overthink it. Don't revisit it. Some decisions don't need revisiting. And remind yourself why you made that decision. I don't know why, and it's not important for me to know why, but I trust your judgment, Laura. I've known you for quite a while. And I know if you made a decision to cut somebody out, there was a reason, and it was solid. Gemini be damned, right? You were in your right mind on that one. He moved out of state. Hey, Michelle. Lily Travels. I love your name. By the way, somebody said something earlier that was so sweet. Mustang Girl. That was really sweet what you said. I saw that, and I just wanted to say we appreciate it. And it's not me alone. I hope you know that. It's my crowd. I've got a great crowd. I'm very lucky with who vibes with me here on YouTube. Very blessed. Very, very blessed. All right, this is Michelle, and we are getting advice from Michelle. And Michelle has so graciously given me her placements. She's got a lot of Pisces and a Libra rising. Oh, I love Libra rising. That's my daughter's rising sign. How sweet is that? All right, Michelle. What does Michelle need to know? Give me some advice for Michelle. Give me some advice for Michelle. Give me advice for Michelle. Give me advice for Michelle, please. Give me advice for Michelle. Michelle, what does Michelle need to know? Give me some advice for Michelle. Give me some advice for Michelle. Advice for Michelle. Give me some advice for Michelle. That's right, Birdie. That is your sister sign. That's correct. Birdie, remind me to share some Virgo Pisces humor that I found online. You will laugh. What does Michelle, the Pisces Libra rising, need to know? Eight of Wands in reverse. Devil in reverse. Strength in the upright. Woo, girl. Okay. I feel like this, Michelle. I feel like this is about romance and someone that you blocked. Or maybe the universe removed them from your life. One or the other. You tell me which. It's somebody that I think you, in looking back at this thing, you're like, you know what? That was a trauma bond anyway. That person was selfish, controlling, toxic. They needed to go. Right? Do you know who I'm talking about already, Michelle? Let me know. I love reading in the dark. It's so much fun. I don't mean literal dark, but yeah. Okay, so we got, you know who I'm talking about. Okay, that's important. Because the next card out is the Strength card here. And the Eight of Pentacles. You've got some energy in some way coming towards you from this person. I'm not sure how this is. This could be your just energetically, or this person may literally move toward you. Could be one or the other. The effect of the advice is the same. All right. You, I believe, Michelle, that you have done some work on yourself. And in doing so, you have discovered a part of yourself that you didn't know existed. Your spiritual muscles, your strength. You know, maybe a little bit of backbone, some self-respect, some good old boundaries. I feel like you found some of those things, right? Let me know if I'm onto something so far. Let me know if I'm cooking with gas. Because I think you found something within you that was stronger than you realized. And what I absolutely will be careful to point out is that this person did not make you stronger. You were strong before you ever met this person. I just think you were unaware of how strong you were. Okay? So let me clarify how those muscles came to be. That person doesn't get the credit for your strength. That was yours. You were born with that shit. Okay, you came to the planet with them spiritual muscles, baby. You just got a chance to use them. That's the difference, right? And you're like, damn, I'm stronger than I realized. Look at me. Go me. Good. You're gonna have an opportunity to use those spiritual muscles once again, and you got them. My cards are saying she's got what she needs. Stay focused. Don't let this get you off track. You stay focused. You keep working on Michelle. You keep doing the work. You stay consistent on your journey. You stay true and loyal to the task at hand, and that is, self-improvement, doing your life, living your best life, having fun, doing the things that bring you joy, meditation, grounding, and all that stuff, and your shadow work, all of those things. You stay on that journey, and you stay focused, and don't forget why this douche canoe needed to go to begin with. Keep that in the back of your mind, and that's going to help you to stay focused, all right? So, and let me tell you, with a person with a lot of Pisces in her chart, it's so easy with a lot of Pisces to get dreamy and remember all those good times. They all have them. Even Jeffrey Dahmer had moments where he was nice to people. That's what we Piscean people, and I say we because I got a lot of Pisces in my chart, okay? That's our pitfall, and that's what we need. We need that reality check to say, hey, look, yeah, the douchiest of douche canoes has their moments, right? And so keep it moving, keep it forward, stay focused, and you got this. You got this. You've got the strength to get through it. You can do anything. Michelle, you can come back from anything. You can. It happens, but then I remember. There you go. And that's just the human condition. And so give yourself grace for that too. Definitely bring yourself back to reality, but don't judge yourself from going there, because at the end of the day, we all need a little Pisces in us. We all need a little Pisces. We do. It needs to be grounded with reality. It does. But we all need a little Pisces sometimes. So that's a beautiful energy, and I don't want you to do anything other than acknowledge it and appreciate that in yourself, okay? Can I tell a quick story before we go forward to Priya? A Pisces story. Can I share a Pisces story with you guys that will probably touch your heart? It's a little sappy. So, many of you know Baxter, my pups, right? I have a pup who is named Baxter, and he's a Gemini with a Pisces moon. And to be fair, he moves much more like a Pisces than he does a Gemini, okay? And I say that in the most loving way. And having a dog, the good thing about having a dog with Pisces energy, he lives in a very insulated world, as most of our pets do. Those of us who have pets, they live in a very insulated world, right? In his world is me and his two cat brothers, right? That's it. For the most part, we have visitors and we have friends, but even then, they're good people. They love him. And so his world really is very Piscean. And he looks at me with those Piscean eyes every day. And he says, Mom, the world is just amazing. It's full of good people. Everything here is just wonderful, Mom. The world is just a wonderful place. There's no way bad things happen. There's no way bad things exist. And he is in that Pisces Delulu land. We all can understand that. But the difference in Baxter and us humans is we actually have to navigate the real world, right? So we have to kind of balance that with the reality that sometimes bad people just do bad things, and that's just doesn't have to always make sense, but it just is. But the beauty is I can let my little Pisces moon dog continue to believe what he believes, and it's harmless. And so when I look in his eyes and I see that belief, in that moment, it becomes my truth too. So yeah, there you go, my little Pisces story. Anyhow, for what it's worth, I thought that was very heartwarming and relevant. Pisces are the dreamers. Yes, they are. And they can be the most beautiful people in the world, especially when they walk in the high vibrational energy of Pisces. Absolutely. So I hope that meant something to somebody. All right, let's go to Priya. Oh, and I need to update and put Carrie on the list. She is after Gina. Birdie, bring me something to eat. What you going to get? Are you going out to get food, or are you going to the kitchen to get food? Either way, I need some. Yeah, sweet Baxter. He is a sweetheart, that is for sure. We're on Priya, right? Yep. Let's do Priya. Priya is Aquarius rising. As my memory serves me right, Priya, Aquarius rising is one of the rarer rising signs. Gemini moon, Sagittarius sun. I already love you. I already love your placements. We would vibe, Priya. You and I, we would be fast friends. I can tell you that right up front. All right. A past person, friend of 10 years, Aqua plus retro moon. Things look serious in marriage in August 2025. He initiated it. But then when I expressed my feelings, he just said he saw me just as a friend. He always chickens out when things get real. We stopped talking December 31st. Will he return? When? Does he still love me? Let's see. Let's take a look. And we're going to see, first I'm going to see, let's just delve into this dynamic and find out what you need to know that's relevant. I'm already picking up on some things. Kitchen, I fried chicken tonight, mashed potato in the kitchen. God, I'm coming to your house, Birdie. I got my son pizza and wings. Oh, yum. Last day at school before grad. I love that. What a great meal. All right, Priya, let's take a look at this this past person that backed away when things got real. Let's take a look. You're having dinner. Okay. Let's take a look. Tell me what we need to know about the energies around this man backing away. What are the energies around this man backing away? What are the energies around this man backing away? What are the energies here? That's what we really want to zero in on. What are the energies here? What's behind all that? You'll pick up any feelings from this and stuff like that as well, Priya. Let's see. What are the energies around this man backing away? What are the energies around this man backing away from Priya? What are the energies around this man backing away from Priya? What are the energies around this man backing away from Priya? What are the energies around this man backing away from Priya? What are the energies around this man backing away from Priya? Queen of Cups in the reverse. Queen of Swords in the reverse. Page of Cups in the reverse. I think I know what this is saying, Priya, but I'm going to delve into the Queen of Cups I'm going to delve into this a little bit more. I feel like you hit some triggers around emotional vulnerability. I'm going to be real with you. I think that's what this is. And therefore, we are probably barking up the tree of avoidant attachment style. Right? That's probably where this is, but we'll see. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Okay. First of all, let's go back to what the statement he made where he saw you as a friend. He lied. Page of Cups in reverse. Specifically, he lied about his emotions, and that's why we have the cups here as the page that is in the reverse. We are talking emotions. He lied about his feelings. Did he have feelings? Yes. Does he still do? I feel like he does. Do I feel like he will return? Yes, I do. I see it in the cards. Do I feel like he'll withdraw again? Yes, I do. I see that in the cards. And behaviorally speaking, I can tell you why. I can tell you exactly what's up with this guy. I can tell you exactly what's up with this guy. Does he love you? Immensely. Would he hurt you? Absolutely. Does he mean to? No. Does it matter whether he means to? At the end of the day, no. It hurts just the same, correct? This is the cycle of the avoidant that many people find themselves going through with people, okay? You sometimes hear this referred to as the runner chaser, but at the end of the day, people can sometimes have deep feelings for people and yet not be mature enough to manage and handle those emotions. And so you have deep emotion, but what you don't have is emotional maturity, emotional intelligence, and emotional integrity, because those three things come from inner work and healing wounds around abandonment that create avoidant behavior, i.e., runner. It is almost certain that runners will return, and the longer you chase them, the longer you will put that off. If you stop chasing a runner, they will come back, but they will run again as soon as shit gets real again. And what this ultimately creates, or can create, is a pattern that feels very much like an emotional roller coaster, to where the person that is dealing with the person who keeps running away is absolutely continually subjecting themselves to repeated heartbreak. Because at the end of the day, you have a choice. You have a choice. I feel like you love this man very deeply, and that is okay. My question to you is, how much do you love Priya? Do you love her enough to keep her from getting hurt again? Because you got to love her more than you love him. And therein lies the problem. So yes, he will return and he will leave again. Does he love you? Beyond words. Does he have emotional intelligence? No. Does he have emotional maturity? No. And what I also feel like here is that this is what happens. This is what happens in these dynamics. This specific thing here, this is what happens. This man has an unhealed wound that you cannot heal. That is his job. Who knows where it came from? Childhood, girlfriends, who knows? It's probably abandonment or rejection of something of that nature. He's been hurt. His job? Fix it. He didn't get that. He didn't do that. He didn't do his job. And he walked into a connection. And granted, he probably wasn't aware of it. Do I think he had the intention of hurting you or the awareness of this? Absolutely not. But at the end of the day, because they are so wrapped up in their own pain from this wound that is driving this behavior, he can't possibly understand what he's doing to you. He can't see. He's blinded with his own pain right now. So is it that he lacks empathy? I seriously doubt that. I don't think he has the capacity or the space for empathy for how he hurts you, because he himself is so hurting. He doesn't have any space to realize the pain that he's caused you. And that's a whole different ball of wax that eventually he should have to deal with. But right now, he can't even stop to think about how much this hurts you because of how much he's hurting. I hope that helps. This is a classic case of a really nice guy that is well-intended, walking around with a lot of wounds, that is self-destructing, and you can choose to be or not to be part of the collateral damage whenever he self-destructs time and time again before he fixes that. If ever. If ever. That's where you are, babes. That's where you are. So what I would recommend to you is, instead of focusing on whether he'll return and whether he loves you, I would focus on why it matters to you that he returns, and getting yourself in order, focusing on what this is showing you about yourself. Because I want to tell you the rest of the story, Priya. This happened for a reason. You've got some wounds as well. And you're in an unhealthy attachment style as well, because energetically you're chasing someone. You may not be calling him or reaching out to him, but energetically you're chasing him. And it's time for you to take a step back and look in the mirror and say, why do I want a person who is not here? Because you deserve a person that doesn't put you in this thing. And the aqua moon, irrelevant. Probably could tell me about his wounds, but that's a him problem. See, this is the thing. I want you, instead of trying to psychoanalyze him and his zodiac chart, I want you to psychoanalyze yourself. Because this is what this is really about. This is meant to turn your attention to you, okay? And realize that you are hung up on somebody who is giving you the energy of absence. And you don't deserve that. And at a conscious level, you know that, but yet you want this person. Why do you want a person? You got to come to the place where you realize that you are wanting a person that is creating a situation that hurts you. And at a conscious level, you and I both know that you don't deserve that. And you've got to ask yourself, what is it within me that is wounded that makes me go this route? Instead of being able to release this thing in peace and let him go with his own problems, and me work on myself and get myself in a better energetic alignment that is someone with that is to work at to connect with someone that is healthy. That's where you are in this thing. His aqua moon doesn't matter. Probably has to do with abandonment wounds. Still doesn't. His problem is his problem. Your problem is yours. That's where this is meant to take you. The search for love is meant to take us back to our own cosmic heart in general. That's what you're dealing with, Priya love. That's what you're dealing with. And I hope that helps you. I hope that helps you. Anytime you start trying to think about why he does the way he does, or what he might do next, or, you know, I bet it's because his mama did this. You may be right, but it's irrelevant to the job at hand. It doesn't have a thing to do with what your assignment is in this thing. I hope that helps. You know, as a reader and an astrologer and a life coach, if I were working with him, we'd probably hone in on that aqua moon. But I'm not working with him. He hasn't hired me to do anything for him. I would be glad to help him if he did, because that's my job. But I'll tell you who paid me today to help her. And that's Priya. And that's who I'm loyal to in this moment. I'm worried about you getting better and having a better life. Right now, his life is irrelevant. Fair? So let's you and I focus on you. You're welcome. Yes, of course Priya's got this. Kim Bounds is absolutely right. Which, by the way, Kim Bounds, I've been watching your comments. You are such a nice cheerleader. Thank you for your comments. You're so sweet. I appreciate that. Birdie is a cheerleader too, but he's munching on fried chicken. Says there's only so much he can do in the moment. Sorry, Birdie, I just got to pick on you. I just got to pick on you. Kim, we are on you again. We are up to Kim again. Speaking of Kim, it is Kim's turn. Yeah, me too, Birdie. Birdie and I could write a dissertation. I can't go there, Birdie. I can't. I don't need to. It's not healthy. Woo-saw. Stop being a petty Betty, Karen. All right, thank you, Birdie. Well, the problem with him coming right, she says, I want him to come right or leave me completely. He's going to come right, but he is also going to leave you completely, and he's going to come right again. And you're going to be on this emotional roller coaster. You're going to feel like it's Groundhog Day if you get on that train again. That's what my cards are saying. And you know what? The best predictor, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to share a little something with you. Years ago, long before Dr. Phil was known, okay, I had the privilege of working as a VP Finance in an organization that was headed by, the CEO there was a behavioral psychologist, a PhD level behavioral psychologist. He was an expert in human behavior. And the thing that he taught me, he used to say this a lot, and I didn't get it then, and I didn't get why. He used to say the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. There are some sound reasons for that. And I've got a lot of content that goes into the depth of why that's true over on Patreon. Because, you know, in the last, 5-6 years, I've probably read 35 books on Jungian psychology, and I'm by no means a mental health expert, but I know a thing or two about human behavior. And after I, was in his employ for all that time, along came Dr. Phil. And I know a lot of people have their thoughts about Dr. Phil, and maybe not, but you can glean a lot of truths from Dr. Phil. And one of my favorite Dr. Philisms, he changed it a little bit. He said, the best predictor of future behavior is relevant past behavior. So, will a person leave you? Have they left you before? That's the relevant past behavior. If the answer is yes, they're likely to do it again. 2 mental health experts agreed, and I'd be willing to bet you could ask a lot of mental health experts, and they would agree with me on that. And there's a lot of solid reasons. It has to do with the subconscious and how that drives us and all that, but we won't go down that rabbit hole too much. But trust me, I believe it, and not only do I believe it, I know why it's true. All right, let's go to Kim. All right, Kim says, she, again, an Aries. I'm so attracted to the energy of a contractor working with me. Is he attracted to me too? I don't know his sign, by the way. And then question 2, if he is attracted to me, I'd love to just hang out with him and get to know him. Would he be a good one for companionship, or would he be just looking to get laid? Good question. Let's see what we got here. Yes, Birdie, why don't you put Aaron's channel link? And Birdie is, before I read for you, Kim, and I know you don't mind me interrupting for a minute to say this, Birdie has made reference to Aaron Doughty, Doughty. I'm a huge Aaron Doughty fan. Birdie binges on Aaron Doughty, and I always recommend Aaron Doughty's content. And Birdie he's got a bajillion subscribers. He is not a tarot reader, but he is a behavioral expert, probably an energy expert. He understands energy behavior. I think he's a great resource for knowledge. And anybody who wants to further their journey would be well served to spend some time with Aaron, watching Aaron's content. But Birdie, if you've got a minute and you feel like dropping his link for those who are listening, then then I would love that. I would appreciate that if you don't mind, Birdie. All right, so let's look at this contractor and what his thoughts are toward you. What's his vibe toward you? What is this contractor's vibe toward Kim? 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 What is this contractor's... He doesn't know what to think about you. He honestly doesn't. Page of Swords came out sideways, and there's a reason for sideways. Thank you, Birdie. You're the best. What about this contractor? What about this contractor? Yeah, Jesse, he's going to put the link up here in just a minute. Here we go. What about this contractor? How's he seeing Kim? How's he vibing toward Kim, the Aries? How's this contractor vibing toward Kim, the Aries? I think you have his curiosity at times, for sure. Thank you, Priya. What about this contractor toward Kim? What about this contractor toward Kim? Well, hey, Emma Boo. So we have the King of Wands in reverse. We have the Seven of Pentacles. We have the Tower. Oh boy. Kim. Oh, let's talk about it. I think what I'm picking up here with everything is a string along followed by what Kim, how long have you watched me or tarot in general? What do you know about the Tower card? What do you know about the Tower card? I think this person might string you along. I think he's got some player energy. Do I think he's attracted to you? Yeah, sexually, absolutely. I've got some string along energy here. I think there's parts of you that perks his interest. with the Page of Swords coming out sideways, now I know what it is, okay? I think he would absolutely like to bang you. So he is attracted to you sexually, for sure. I don't get a real good vibe off of him. What I do get is a very important role in your life. Is he your forever man? No. Potentially what he is for you is something that I sometimes refer to as a catalyst. Let's talk about the Tower, because that's where this would head ultimately, if you're not careful. And I'm going to read for the second question. But let's talk about the Tower. It's a very misunderstood. No, see, Tower moments are not bad, and I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. If you ask 80% of the tarot community what a Tower was, they say it's horrible. It's not. It's tough love in the most intense way. And hear me out. Towers are divine intervention. Let me say that again and louder for the people in the back. Towers are brought about by divine energy for your good. Here's why. Usually towers happen to us because we have had chance after chance after chance to fix ourselves. We've had relationships, you know, we have been in situations that should have brought us to a place where we started to get introspective and realize that we were acting on our wounds, and we refused. And the Tower is like, I have tried everything to get your attention, so let me send this person to you to totally take you down to your knees so that you got nowhere to look but up. Let me make it so rough for you that you've got no choice but to embrace change and work on yourself. So what this is telling me is your best bet is to really put some blinders on when it comes to romance and work on you. Because your next one's going to be a Tower if you're not careful. And I will tell you, yes. Towers are rough. Towers are sudden. Towers are unexpected. Unpleasant doesn't begin to describe how it feels to experience a Tower, right? But at the same time, it's the life-changing experience. It can be. It can ultimately be the game changer, but it doesn't have to be. You absolutely can detour. So this is where I get to, Kim, this is, who did I give keys to earlier? Who did I hand keys to? Kim, this is where you get your keys. This is where I'm handing you the keys to your car. Okay? The universe is handing you the keys to your car. It's all yours, paid for and clear. Who you gonna let? Yeah, and you get to decide. You're absolutely at the helm, and the directions that you go and the choices that you make have everything to do with the experiences that you have. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you take yourself off the market and just spend some time flunkying. No, that's not going to do you any good. Take yourself off to the market and do some work on yourself. Shadow work, introspection, meditation, self-care, good daily spiritual habits. That's gonna help you to navigate life and the contractors that cross your path, because in the future, a more healed version of yourself, you're gonna see that contractor and you're gonna smile. You're gonna smile, and you might feel attracted to him. Okay, nothing wrong with that. Hey, we're people. We got needs. We got hormones, right? Not a thing in the world wrong with that. But you'll see that contractor and you'll smile and you'll say, I may never have met you before, but I have too. I've seen you. I know you. I know your kind. Nah, I'm good. I'm all set. Thanks, though. Appreciate you. Yes. That's what's up. That's what's up. I'm going to go look to your second question. And it says, if he's attracted to me, I'd love to just hang out with him and get to know him and have a companionship. Would he be a good one for companionship? No. Would he be just looking to get laid? Yes. If you can keep your emotions out of it, which is super hard to do, especially when you're walking around with a lot of unhealed wounds, and you can just go have some fun and go boinky, then yeah, he might be good for that, but nothing else. But if you can't detach, then it's a no. It's a no. It's a no. How to detour. I want keys. Shadow work, my friend. Shadow work. That's the game changer. That's the game changer. How can I identify? What did she say? Let's see here. How can I identify my shadow work? I've got, I think I counted 72 or 76 videos over on Patreon about shadow work and how it works and how to do it. And I'm getting ready to reorganize all that stuff and make it even more user friendly. So it's going to be a lot more navigable. It's already somewhat navigable, but it's going to be a lot better. But you'll find a crap ton of information. And everything that I'm telling you, by the way, shadow work is based on, actually, this is not spiritual woo-woo. This is all based on, this is all based on the teachings of and the findings of Carl Jung, mental health pioneer. And this is where psychology and spirituality meet oftentimes. And so, you know, I'm all about therapy and mental health. In fact, I'm right with them. A good therapist you can't beat. In fact, I'm soon to read for a good therapist in just a minute or two. One of my favorite people ever. And she's an amazing client of mine, and I love her to pieces. She's a doll. So I am an absolute huge fan of good therapists. Yeah, it will break you down, and you'll come back knowing your strength. Absolutely. I agree, Jesse. Carl Jung is amazing. Absolutely. Fun fact, not many people realize this. The occultists know this. Carl Jung, pretty accomplished occultist. Pretty accomplished occultist. So yeah, fun fact. The things they don't teach you in psychology when they talk about Freud and Jung. Yeah, he played in the dark arts. Hey T Misses, what's up? Thank you, Kim. Appreciate you for that. All right. I hope that helped you. Kim, did that help you? Are you good? Did we get you? Did we get your questions covered? Let me know. You know, Kim, one thing I want to say, and anybody who's listening, the whole point of tarot is to say, hey, this is where things are headed. And it gives you the ability to know whether you want to keep going that direction or if you want to change the course. If you want to course correct, tarot tells you this is where you're headed. And if you want to course correct, you can. You absolutely have the ability to decide within realms, right, what you're going to experience. So hey T Misses, everything you need to know is below this video as far as the different types of readings that we offer. All right, Anastasia, Anastasia. Before I read for you, Anastasia, it's a wonky compass. Some people view it differently. Yes, absolutely. I agree with that, Jesse. Absolutely. You're not wrong. Jesse is a person that hangs out in my chats routinely, y'all. Jesse is a lovely, and I say lovely, he's a guy, but you get it. Jesse is an amazing Taurus who, by all evidence, has a lot of really good insight. So we appreciate that, Jesse. Birdie. Yes, to some degree. To some degree. All right. I may, let's see what we got here. Yeah. I'm going to, before I read for Anastasia, we're going to let Anastasia, Gina, and Carrie be the last three that we read for tonight. So I'm going to close it down, but I am finishing who's booked. Okay, I just want to always say that. I'm an HVAC contractor. I know these things. Right, right. I want to go over here and do this. And go here. It takes me a minute to shut this thing down, so just give me a minute, y'all. That's not what I meant to do. Ah, there we go. Okay, one more thing and then I'll be ready to read for the last three that have booked. There we go. All right. And then finally, this. Ah. There we go. Okay. Cue the Jeopardy music. Leave it to a Virgo to bring up Jeopardy. I bet you love Jeopardy, Birdie. Us Mercury people usually do. We usually love Jeopardy. All right, Anastasia. Anastasia. Let me timestamp for Anastasia. All right, Anastasia. Hi, AK. Emma and I had a conversation where I got to express the way I felt. Okay, good. She expressed herself as well. Want to get an energy read specifically to me from Emma in case she left anything out. And then secondly, anything that comes out. Beautiful. All right. Wow. 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 Curiosity is killing me on this thing, Anastasia, but I won't ask the dates. I'm going to read. I'm just going to do what I do. Emma the Pisces toward Anastasia the Cancer. Emma the Pisces toward Anastasia the Cancer. Give me the real feels. Give me the real feelings. Let's go deep. Give me the feelings from Emma toward Anastasia. Give me the real feelings. Emma toward Anastasia. Emma the Pisces. I want cake. What kind? Doesn't matter. I still want a piece, Birdie. Emma the Pisces toward Anastasia the Cancer. Emma the Pisces, please, as it relates to her feelings and her energy. Toward Anastasia the Cancer. M of the Pisces, toward Anastasia, the Cancer. Ooh, German chocolate. That sounds amazing. Birdie, you're going to make somebody a great wife one day. No, some girl's going to get really lucky because of the cooking that you do. Take care, Kim. M of the Pisces, toward Anastasia, the Cancer. Okay, we got it. I am utterly confused, Anastasia. I am utterly confused. 10 of Swords, upright. 9 of Swords in the reverse. Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. It almost seems to me like maybe you guys made a decision to end things, or at least for things to remain friends and nothing more. And what's crazy is this 9 of Swords in the reverse, there's something she's trying to put behind her, all right? There's this ending that she's trying to put behind her. But the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, she feels like she's going against what is fated, what is meant to be. What is this 10 of Swords about? It was what was currently bothering me with us. Okay, all right. She is trying very hard to move on from that conversation, and she can't. 6 of Swords here in the reverse. That's why that Wheel of Fortune is in the reverse. 8 of Pentacles. The Moon. Confusion. She feels, I will tell you, she feels very stuck and confused about what to do about it. So her solution is, let's just not think about it. But that doesn't really work too well for her. 9 of Swords in reverse. She feels like she needs to do something, but she doesn't quite know what she needs to do. Or what she should do with the Moon card here. 4 of Pentacles. I think it bothers her more than she wants you to know. King of Pentacles in the reverse. Fool in reverse. So she's got a lot of fears. With that Fool card in the reverse. And she is in an unstable place. She's not at all grounded. That's why the King of Pentacles is here in the reverse and the Moon in the upright. And if I may be so bold as to say this, I think she is lost in the Piscean sauce in the moment. If I had the best way to describe this is I think she is lost in the Piscean sauce. I think she's confused as hell. And I think she feels like she needs to do something, but she doesn't know what to do. I almost feel like the overall thing with this thing is paralysis by analysis of not knowing what to do. And I've got holding back all over the place in this thing with the Four of Pentacles, now the Strength card here. She feels very stuck. She kind of, I want to delve more onto this Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. I want to know more about that. What's here? She feels like she's made you mad. She may feel like she has blown it with you. With the Queen of Swords here in the reverse and the Six of Cups in reverse, to me, I take that as, you kind of being like, I'm tired of being patient on this thing. Hangman in reverse, Queen of Swords in reverse. This bothers me, and we can't keep doing this. It's a deal breaker. Six of Cups in reverse. She may feel like that she has blown things with you. Five of Pentacles in reverse. Not able to move on. Not able to move on. Very hung up on this thing. She is all over the place. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to just take a step as a reader, and having read for this woman, and I think she's a nice woman. I like her. I don't dislike her at all. But I'm going to just give you an overall feeling of what I get from her energy over the times that you and I have been talking about her, Anastasia. I think that she is the antithesis, and I know she's a mental health professional, I get that, but I think she is everything that grounding is not, or grounded is not. I think she could not be less grounded if she were a rocket ship. I really don't think she is grounded at all. And I think she gets lost in confusion, lost in the Piscean sauce. And I'm going to be real with you. I think she's not happy with her current situation that she has created for herself. And I think what happens is I think she goes off and she daydreams about a different life. And I think she lives in that area a lot. I'm kind of seeing that here. And I think then when she comes back to what the reality is that she has signed up for herself, I think she is vastly disappointed and feels like she is not living the life that she's out of her destiny. She's off track. And I think that's how she feels. And I think but with regard to you, she's not a mental health. Oh, she's just studying. Okay, fair enough. I think regarding you, I think she goes all over the place with this thing with you. In the current moment, I think her overall vibe is she feels like she has pissed you off, perhaps to the point that she has blown it with you entirely. And I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to go back to the last time you and I talked. I know she has love for you. And I know where she's at. And I know I know how she's dealing with that, right? And this all checks. This all absolutely checks. And I think instead of dealing with her current problems that she has created, right? She just goes off to the ethers and goes off to rose-colored glasses land, because it's a much more beautiful place over there, because she can live authentically there. And for some reason, she feels like she can't on planet Earth. Escapism to the ninth degree. To the ninth degree here. Absolutely. But let me know if that makes sense to you, Anastasia. I think this, Anastasia. I think if you can, if you can find a way to be friends with her and not expect anything else, then maybe. But I think until she gets herself sorted out, which who knows, right? Anything beyond that would be very unstable and built on some really shifting sand. I don't think she's a bad girl at all. Not at all. I think she's just out of sorts a bit. You let me know what you think. I'm going to see what comes out for you, though. Let's Hey Margaret, thank you. Or Margaret Luza, thank you. Thank you. Wow. Angel eyes. Listen to you philosophizing. She says, it occurred to me, which by the way, sleep beautifully, but it occurred to me that retrograde doesn't just happen to us. We can also be the ones that bring it. That is some good, juicy food for thought. I like it. All right, let's see what comes out for Anastasia. Let's see what comes out for Anastasia. What's coming out for Anastasia? What does Anastasia need to know? Birdie. That's so sweet. What does Anastasia need to know? Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles. What else for Anastasia? What else for Anastasia? What else for Anastasia? What else for Anastasia, please? What else for Anastasia? What else for Anastasia? Three of Swords, Hangman in reverse. Oh, Anastasia. Anastasia. Let's talk about it. The elephant in the room. You know what, Anastasia, you know what I'm going to tell you? With that Hangman in the reverse and that Three of Swords and that Queen of Pentacles, here's what I got. It might be time for you to put some energy into you. And the elephant in the room, right? You know, these lovers that we've talked about really now for, over the years, because we've had a couple of, zingers. There's got to be some heartbreak here that's nagging at you that maybe is unaddressed. Maybe some wounds that need to be healed. And there needs to be some energy put into Anastasia. I think that Cancer heart, I think that Cancer heart, I think all that Cancer love that King of Cups can bring, male or female, right? That's you. I think that needs to come right back to you right now. I think you need to love on you. It's about time that Anastasia chose Anastasia. Yeah, take all your energy inward. Bring it in. Bring it in. All that passion, all that energy, it's time to focus in on you. I know you've done a lot of work on yourself. You absolutely have. But you've also experienced a lot. You've also experienced a lot of stuff, right? Even since then. And so I think it might be time for you to take a step back and put all that fire and water energy and the investment associated with the Queen of Pentacles. I think it's time to spend some time on you. I think it's time to spend some time on you. And I think that definitely balances with spending time out with friends. I absolutely do. And I see an importance there for you to get out and have fun with friends and enjoy your life and do the things that bring you joy and happiness and laughter. But I think there needs to be some time where you invest in you. And at the end of the day, I think that you're going to come out miles ahead. And I think you're going to have a lot more reasons to laugh if you do that. All right? I absolutely see that. I think you're tired. I think you've been being strong for everybody but yourself. And you don't. I think you're tired. I think you may not realize that you have found yourself being strong for everybody else, and maybe you're just a little bit in need of some cancer loving. And who better to give it to you? Who better? Who better? You'll find love. You'll be in love. I see that. You'll find love, Anastasia. You absolutely will. Magician card. You got control over all of it. That's what I see here. So I say this. Take your keys back. Take your keys back. Get your power back. Call your power back. Put your energy into yourself. And the world will literally be your oyster with the Magician card. You can do whatever you want with that. You can have the best of the best situations. You absolutely can. And I have faith in you because you are not a dummy. And you're not a spiritual dummy either. Anastasia, you and I have been dealing with each other for a hot minute. So I'm not talking to somebody that's a beginner at this stuff. You know everything I'm telling you is true. You know. And I think this is some long, hard 2-year journey? No, not for you, because you've done a lot of work on yourself. I just think it's time to pause and spend a month or two, maybe more, on yourself. That's what I get. I hope that helps you. Jesse, that's funny. Next up is Gina Vina. All right. I don't know if Gina's here, but if not, oh, Anastasia. Anastasia, I appreciate you so much. And I'm proud of you. Margaret, okay. If I pronounce that correctly, that's a very pretty name. All right. You're pronounced. Oh, really? Okay. Yay. Well, that's actually cool, Birdie. That's actually cool. Yeah, you know, Birdie, when Angel Eyes came in and said that earlier about the retrograde thing, I thought to myself, boy, she brought all the Mercury people some catnip, right? With that thought. That was some good stuff for the especially for the Mercury folks. We love stuff like that, don't we, Birdie? All right, let's go to Gina Vina. All right. So we want to first look at the Scorpio coal miner and whether or I did say it right. Okay, okay. We want to first look at the Scorpio coal miner and whether he is planning to reach out, and then is he watching Gina, or is the third party watching Gina? I'm going to break all that down. We're going to find out. Gina, Bina, Boona, Boona. I love that birdie. Give me the Scorpio coal miner. And what his plans are about reaching out. What's his thought about reaching out to Gina, the Scorpio coal miner? Do we see the Scorpio coal miner reaching out? Is he reaching out? Is he planning to reach out? Let's take a look. If it's in the plans, put it in the cards. If it's in the plans, put it in the cards. Communication from the Scorpio coal miner. If it's in the plans, tell me. If it's in the plans, put it in the cards. Yes. Yes. It is in the plans. Six of Wands came out. That was the jumper. The Death card, the Page of Wands, the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. Even picked up Scorpio energy here. I want to find out if that Death card means he's planning to do that after he ends something. And I want to find out. Tell me more about the Death card. What are you talking about there? Are you talking about a transformation? Are you talking about healing? Or are you talking about ending something? Tell me what that means in his thoughts. Tell me what that means. What precedes that? What's the Death card? Judgment in the reverse. He's going to end something. That's what that's about. He's walking, yeah, World card. He's walking away from something. That's what that means. He's ending one thing. He's calling you or reaching out to you in some way. And the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. That's an interesting card to come out because what you may hear from him is something like, I'm lost without you. I'm not the same without you. I need you. I'm just telling you what I see here. So I want to get the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. I want to really delve into that for you, Gina, so that you'll know exactly the vibe that's coming from the Scorpio male. Tell me about the Nine of Pentacles here in the reverse for Gina. Six of Cups in the reverse, baggage, the Moon card. Four of Cups in reverse. Okay, yeah. It's an I need you vibe. It's an I need you. There's baggage here. That's why the Six of Cups is here in the reverse and the Moon is in the upright. He's not even aware of the baggage. He's not addressed it. It's very much an I need you. I blew it with you. And he's skipping a step, Gina. I'm going to tell you that right now. He's skipping a step with the Hangman in reverse. So your first communication from him is coming. And I know you love this man. I ain't even got to ask you that. I don't have to pull cards. I know that. And I know he loves you. But I want you to love Gina the most. I want you to love Gina enough to realize that love is a powerful thing, but you can still get heartbroken and be in love with one another. So he's got to go back to the slow cooker and work on himself a little bit. Right? Let's see if he's watching you, Gina. We're going to first look at him, and then we're going to look at the third party. All right? Is he watching Gina? Is he watching Gina? I kind of feel like with that Six of Wands, there's a good possibility. But we'll see. Is he watching Gina? 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 Five of Wands, Hangman in reverse, Two of Cups. I don't get a clear answer on this. I think what I'm picking up, I don't get him watching you. What I do get is him daydreaming about you. And I'll be honest, I think he tries not to. I think he does what he, I think he, in his mind, he tries to get his mind off of this and he's not able to. But yeah, he definitely daydreams about it. I agree, Jesse. I agree. Absolutely agree. That's what I got here on him. I don't really get him watching your social media and such. Two of Wands, Temperance. He's in this vibe of someday we'll be together. As soon as I shake this loose, right? Yeah. I'd rather be chosen than needed. Absolutely. That's absolutely right, Birdie. I agree with that. All right, let's look at the third party. I want to see if the third party is watching you, Gina. Give me the third party. Is the third party watching Gina? Is the third party watching Gina? You know what I get? Okay, Gina, let me go back to something. I want to talk about the Scorpio a minute more. Here's what I saw overall in the cards. I don't think he's watching you. What's crazy is I think he thinks you're watching him. I think that's what's going on here. I think he thinks you're watching him, and I don't know. He thinks maybe you're watching his social media or trying to keep tabs on him in some way. And I will die on the hill I'm about to paint for you. I think that a lot of times he probably posts things on his social media thinking that you're going to see it or hoping that you'll see it. That's what I did pick up on. I don't pick up on him watching you, but what I do pick up on is him thinking you're watching him. A little bit of a plot twist. All right. Let's see about the third party. What's the third party doing? Is she watching Gina? The third party. The third party. Do we have the third party watching Gina? What's up with that? I want that specifically. Yep, Jesse. Give me the third party. Hierophant in the reverse, Ace of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles in the reverse. She knows what's up. I don't think she's watching you. She doesn't say a lot. I don't get that she's watching you, but I'll tell you what she is doing. She is absolutely convinced. She knows what's up. She absolutely knows what's up. He may have told her. I don't know. We talked about that he may feel like that we thought that. She doesn't say a lot. She is preparing. She is absolutely preparing herself financially and emotionally. She's absolutely preparing. She may be stacking up coins without telling him, literally, with the Four of Pentacles here. But she already is in the energy of moving on. Moving on. She's already knowing she knows this is over. She knows. I think he's told her. I've seen that in the cards. I think it's here. And I think she's preparing, and I think she knows what's up. That's what I got on the 3rd. That's what I got. I hope that helps you. Yeah, Jesse's right. Jesse's right. But Gina, I hope that helped you, my love. I appreciate you so much. I love you to the moon and back. You're a sweetheart. And next up, we have Carrie. And Carrie, I don't know if Carrie is an Aries or a Leo. We're not going to read for the romance dynamic because that is advice. You booked advice, and we kind of stated in there pretty clearly and in all caps that we don't deal with specific situations with advice. I'm going to have to take the advice off because people just don't get that. So, Carrie, we're going to read for you, and I don't know which you are, but it's really not, really don't need to know. It would be nice to know your zodiac sign, but it's not necessary. Let's see what Carrie needs to know right now. Oh, okay, yeah. Are you the Aries or are you the Leo? You're the Aries. Okay. What does Carrie, the Aries, need to know right now? Give me the advice or what Carrie needs to know right now. What needs to come out for Carrie? Overall advice. Overall advice for Carrie. Overall advice for Carrie. Overall advice for Carrie. Overall. Woo! Hold on. Overall advice for Carrie. Overall advice. This may be coming out about your Leo dynamic. This may be about your Leo. Based on what I'm seeing, we're getting a romance reading here for you, Carrie. Just fun fact. So it might be that you actually hear some advice relative to this Leo. Let's see what we got. What does Carrie need to know? 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 Hermit. 5 of Cups in the reverse. 4 of Cups in the reverse. Okay, so let's talk about this. What the cards are telling me here is that you may be trying to work on something because you're pretty, you're kind of holding on energetically to someone with the 4 of Cups here in the reverse, and you guys may not even be together. Based on the cards that I've got, you guys may be apart in the moment. If not, we definitely have some issues, okay? And that is the 3 of Swords, the heartbreak here that we're trying to ignore, okay? The lack of the Ace of Wands in the reverse. Um, this person may have pulled back from you, pulled their energy back, and it may seem like a false start where this person and you just, you started out a certain way, right? And I think you'd like to reconvene with this person with the Three of Cups here, but that did come out in a challenge position in this spread. That reunion card came out as the challenge. And so, and I almost think with that Four of Cups in the reverse, that reunion feels just out of reach. Feels just out of reach. It's something you want very much, to be with this person in a happy way. And it feels just out of reach. Like one more try. Maybe if I do this, maybe if I do that. And herein lies the issue. What the cards suggest is that instead of focusing on this other person, it is at this juncture probably healthier to let go and to instead turn your energy into yourself, okay? And to withdraw. And it's time for some heavy introspection here with the Hermit card, okay? Because at the end of the day, we can't do a lot about what another person thinks of us, does for us, gives in a dynamic. But you have absolute control over what you experience in a romance dynamic. And, if things are, not going well, if there are the obstacles between you two that I see here, it feels very hard to let go. And the moment you let go, it hurts. But not long after, you start to feel a little bit of relief. And if you keep working on yourself and focusing on yourself and healing yourself from this, then that gets better. The other thing that I get from this thing is this. I feel like that you missed this Leo. I'm going to say this, okay? And that is absolutely fair. And if you miss this Leo, that's actually helpful to say there are things about this Leo that I missed, because that's going to be helpful for you in this way. What you are missing from this Leo is really not the Leo himself or herself, okay? It's something to do with something that the Leo made you feel, that you feel like you don't have. And that could be feeling sexy, feeling beautiful, feeling intelligent, feeling smart, feeling connection, companionship, connection, all of those sorts of things, right? Happiness, laughter, all the things that could fill in the blanks. And that is very telling, because when you sit with yourself and you ask yourself that question, those exact same answers are exactly where you're not showing up for yourself. You have to fill your own holes, okay? You have to feel that need within yourself, because right now you feel like you need the Leo, and I use the word need with a very intentional way, okay? You feel like that you need this Leo to feel these things. You don't need the Leo, you need you. You need you to fill these holes up much more than you need the Leo to, because at the end of the day, if you're filling your own holes, you're not so needy to need another person to do that for you. And then when you enter into a romance dynamic, you don't come into it needing something. You come into it choosing to be there in a whole way. Whole, W-H-O-L-E, complete, you're whole. And you don't need anything from someone. And my cards are telling me you absolutely are in this energy of feeling like you need this person, and you're grasping for something that's just out of your reach. And I challenge you to stop reaching for something that is unattainable and instead reach inside yourself. And you'll find everything that you're needing, and everything that you are feeling like you are missing in your life right now. Give yourself that. And I promise you, if you do this the right way, Carrie, you'll realize nobody else can ever do for you what you can do. Nobody's going to love you like you. When you get to that place where you realize that, and that's healthy. No, does that mean nobody can love me in a healthy way? Absolutely not. But there is nobody on the planet that's ever going to love this wrinkled up, redheaded Karen as much as I do. And that's okay. That's healthy. That's not ego. That's confidence. That's feeling solid within myself. There's nothing that another person can give me on the planet that I can't have myself and give myself, or I do give myself, right? You got to get to that place. That's the goal. That's the goal. Yeah, letting go hurts. And in that moment, it's a motherfucker. But in a little bit, you'll feel some relief. That's what I got. That's what came out for you. I hope that helps you, Carrie. I hope that helps you, my love. And as I say to anybody listening, I hope, this is not just for Carrie, this is for everybody listening. I hope your search for love takes you right back to your own cosmic heart. Because that's the real thing. That's the real thing. That's the real deal. Do I believe in romance? I couldn't be a romance tarot reader if I didn't. I couldn't do it. Absolutely. Healthy romance. That's key. That's the challenge spot, right? So anyway, that being said, I hope that helped you, Carrie. I hope that helped everybody. Thanks, everybody, for booking readings with me tonight. It is always an honor and a pleasure when people choose me to pull cards on their behalf and to seek solutions here. And that's what I hope we can bring. Always. And I'm not alone. There's a lot of solutions that happen in these chats. Birdie, Jesse, other folks that there's so much. The thing about my chats is they are often rich with nuggets of gold. So it's trust me, it's a group effort. And I'm not unaware of that at all. So I hope that helped you guys. I think I'm going to call it a night because I'm kind of tired. We're over 3 hours now. And it's time for this girl to turn my own energy inward. Right? Oh, okay, Birdie. That works. Yeah, just hello, let me know. Let me know. We'll talk. I'm sure we'll talk. All right, my loves. Have a great evening. I love y'all. Bye, y'all.